So, good morning to all of you. Good morning. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, today we would be start the lecture on the same topic that we have discussing yesterday, differential amplifier. That is one of the building block of the op-amp. So, yesterday we have discussed the parameters like how to calculate the output voltage for a emitter coupled differential amplifier, and we have find that your output voltage is a function of differential input as well as the amplification factor, that is called as the differential uh, difference mode gain. And we have found that difference mode gain has been became the value RC collector resistance upon RE dash. RE dash is the you can say uh, emitter resistance or internal resistance of the transistor, because we are using the R parameters. So this is the ratio of resistances for finding out the difference mode gain that we have defined yesterday. Now, uh, we would be now we would be learn how to find out the differential input resistance of this configuration. So, if you have to be see, differential input resistance is defined as equivalent resistance that would be measured at either input terminal with the other terminal grounded. So how can we calculate on this configuration input resistance? For that purpose, there is a two input resistance actually, because there are the two transistors Q1 and Q2. So for Q1, you have to be take the input from that input terminal, and the other one, the input of the Q2 would be grounded. This means the input resistance RI1 is seen from input signal source V1, that is determined with the signal source V2 set to 0. Similarly, if you want to find out the value of RI2 at that moment, you have to make input signal V1 0 and connect the signal source to the V2. So in this way, we can find out the input resistances of both the end of the differential amplifier. So first of all, we have to be see the calculation of the how to calculate RI1. So I hope all of you have the circuit diagram with you. Then and then only you can correlate the terms. Okay. So if you would be refer the circuit diagram, you can first of all RS1 and RS2 would be negligible. It would be ignored because it is very small in value. Okay. And if we would be ignored these two resistances, then the RI1 would be V1 upon IB1 by keeping V2 is equal to 0. So in this way, you can also write RI1 is equal to V1 upon, you can replace the IB1 with the term IE1, emitter current, upon current gain factor beta. So this is the equation to represent the input resistance. Yes. Now you can see this how I have tell you that how to calculate RI1. You can see in this diagram, this is the AC equivalent diagram of your differential amplifier. So for finding out the RI1, what we have to be do, we have to be, first of all, V2 is equal to 0. Then whatever the voltage across it, that is V1 upon the resistance. It is also ignored because it is very small. So it would be ignored for the calculation. It would be also small. It would be also ignored. So your Ri1 would be V1 upon the current flowing in this network, that is IV1. So in this way you can find out the input resistance of this end of the differential amplifier. Similarly, to find out the Ri2, what we have to do? For Ri2, we have to be connect the V2 and make V1 is equal to 0. And again RS1 and RS2 has been ignored because of their small value. So Ri2 would be equal to V2 upon IB2. So in this way, we have to be calculate the input resistance of both the end of the differential amplifier. Now, we have seen the equation for Ri1. Now we have to be elaborate this formula of the input resistance. So we have to be substitute the value of emitter current IE1. So in the last lecture, we have calculated the IE1. Now substitute the value of IE1 is here. And when you substitute the value of IE1, you would be got the value of Ri1, that is beta Re dash into Re dash plus twice of Re upon Re dash plus twice of Re plus Re. So this is the equation for the input resistance of differential amplifier. So those who have noted the value of IE1, you can easily find this relationship. So here what we have done in this particular note, we have just substitute the value of IE1. Okay, so beta V1 upon IE1. So we have just substitute the value of IE1, then we have got this value. So if you do not remember, so I would be just show you the slide where we have written the value of IE1. So the value of IE1 is here. You can see Re plus capital Re into V1 minus Re V2 upon Re dash plus Re square minus Re square. Okay. So this is the equation that we have substituted on the equation of Ri1. Those who are still not noted, please note it down. And this value of the emitter resistance current would be substituted there. Okay. Now you can correlate the terms and you would be got the required equation, that is beta Re dash into Re dash plus twice of Re upon Re dash plus Re. Okay. Now you can also do some assumptions and find out the approximate value of Ri1. This is the exact value you can say, and for the approximate value we can say that Re, capital Re, that is a emitter resistance here, it is very much larger than the Re dash. So if it is like that, then what would be the approximation here? You can see twice of Re is larger than this. So you can here write down beta Re dash, it is multiplied with the twice of Re upon Re. Re would be cancel out, and you would be get the value of the Ri1 is twice of beta Re dash. So this is the approximate value of the input resistance of one end of the differential amplifier. Okay. Similarly, we can calculate the other end input resistance, but we have already assumed both the transistors are matched, so both would be the similar value. So you can see here for Ri2, in the similar pattern we have find out the value of the resistance, that is again came twice of beta Re dash. So you can see in both the resistances Ri1 and Ri2, there is a factor of 2 arises because the Re dash of each transistor is in series. If you have to refer the diagram, Re dash of each transistor is in the series. That's why it is a factor of 2 would be arises. Okay. So this is the value of the input resistance of differential amplifier. If you want to increase the value of input resistance or input impedance with this differential amplifier, so for that you can use, instead of common emitter configuration, you can use a Darlington transistor, Darlington pair of the transistors, or you can use FET, simply field effect transistor. You can replace the BJT with the FET. Your input impedance would be increased if you want to increase the input impedance, because we know that FET having the higher value of input resistance as compared to the BJT. So either of these two configuration you can use in place of BJT to improve the input resistance of the differential amplifier. Now we have to become for the calculation of the output resistance. So the output resistance is basically defined as the equivalent resistance that would be measured at output terminal with respect to the ground. Okay. So we know that there is a two output terminal because we are learning about the balance input, balance output differential amplifier. So one is the output terminal is located at the collector of Q1 and another is at the collector of Q2. So therefore, the output resistance R01 measured between the collector C1 and the ground, and it is equal to that of the collector resistance on. So R01 is nothing but the RC or RC1 you can say, but already we have seen that RC1 and RC2 are equal, so that's why we have written here RC is a common parameter. Similarly, you can also calculate the output resistance R02 that is measured at the collector C2 with respect to the ground, and it is also equal to the value of RC. So in this case, both the output resistance R01 and R02 are equal to the RC. So this is the value of the output resistance of the differential amplifier. Input resistance is twice of beta Re dash and output resistance is RC, that is the collector resistance. Here the current gain of differential amplifier is not defined. Like common emitter amplifier, the differential amplifier is also a small signal amplifier, and it is generally used as a voltage amplifier. So we are here only considering the voltage amplifier, not the current or power amplifier. That's why we have not taken the term of the current gain and these parameters here. Okay. Our discussion is restricted up to the voltage amplifier. So we can calculate also the voltage gain as well. But before that, how to calculate the voltage gain, we would be try to learn it with one of the example. We have already written the formula of voltage gain, that is RC upon Re dash into V1 minus V2, that we have already seen in the last lecture. Now you have all the formulas of voltage gain, input resistance, output resistance. So find out for this numerical these three unknown variables. So the specification is we are taking dual input. Everyone note down this numerical. Dual input balance output differential amplifier, and which is having the collector resistance 2.2 K RC. RB is 4.7 kilo ohm, and the input resistance of both the transistors are R in 1 or R in 2. It is 50 ohm. Positive power supply is plus 10 volt VCC, and negative is minus V is equal to minus 10 volt. Current gain factor beta DC is 100, and base to emitter voltage is 0.715 volt. So for this specification, you have to be calculate these unknown variables. Someone is annotating on the share content. It is not expected from your side. Okay. So in the first term, we would be calculate voltage key. So for that, all the parameters value are mentioned here. So what formula we are going to use here? Before this, we have to be first find out the operating point value. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by this operating point? Which are the operating point variable here for this differential amplifier? We have learned yesterday's lecture. If I am talking about the operating point, so what do you mean this? What we have to be calculate? Anyone? Priyanka Jadhav? Which parameters I am talking about when I am saying that we have to be first write the value of operating point? Kavade Gaurav? There is no answer or no reply from your end. That means you are not mentally present in this lecture. See, this is the step-by-step calculation and this is the step-by-step analysis I am teaching to you. If you would be not see the basics or not learn the basics of this circuitry or analysis of the circuitry, we have already learned the MOSFET based circuitry. Now we are learning the op-amp, and in the op-amp we are learning the BJT based circuitry. So there are some methods and the terms that we have to be always remember. So the operating point is a very common and very most used term when you are learning any discrete component based amplifiers, means MOSFET based amplifier, JFET based amplifier or BJT based amplifier. And that is coming out from the DC load line. So here we have considered BJT as a transistor. So obviously the operating point would be what? Collector current and collector to emitter voltage. So IC and VC. Yesterday this problem is same problem. We have just extended this problem that we have taken yesterday's lecture. So I am not going to again calculate. I am directly writing the value. So IC is 0.988 milliampere we have calculated yesterday, and VCEQ is 8.54 volt. By taking the same value of the operating point or Q point, you would be calculate first AC emitter resistance. So what is the value of AC emitter resistance? That is RE dash. So you can calculate RE dash is what? It is the internal resistance of the transistor. So it is VT upon ICQ. VT is what? Temperature dependence of the voltage. That is basically calculated from K, the formula KT upon Q ICQ. So KT is your Boltzmann constant, T is the temperature in Kelvin, and then Q is the electronic charge. So when you would be substitute all the variables, these are the standard values, and we are talking about the room temperature. So there is a 25 degree centigrade. So for this, you would be find VT would be coming as 25.8 millivolt, or you have for the integer side we have to be considered as a 25 millivolt or 26 millivolt, and IC is already given 0.98 milliampere. Substitute these two value, you would be got the value of emitter resistance, that is AC emitter resistance, that is came out 25.3 ohm. RE dash is your 25.3 ohm. Now you can easily calculate the voltage gain because RC is given, RE dash we have calculated, and now it is easier for us to calculate the gain. So voltage gain equation is what? AD, this is differential mode gain, that is output upon differential input VID, that is RC upon RE dash. So when you substitute this, you would be get this value. That is, the gain is 86.96. This is a unitless quantity. Remember that this is a unitless quantity. Now we have to be calculate the second unknown, that is input resistance. Today we have learned the formula of input resistance, that is twice of beta RDC. Sorry, RE dash. So beta is given, that is 100. RE dash we have already calculated 25.3 ohm. So you can easily calculate. This is coming out 5.06 kilo ohm, or nearly 5 kilo ohm you can say. And the third and last variable is output resistance. That is directly we can write because it is given RC. RC is nothing but your output resistance R01 or R02, that is 2.2 kilo. But if in the examination this question is asked, you have to be right in this way. You don't consider that it is already given in the numericals question, RC value is given and that is the output resistance. So you have to be not right on the answer sheet. You have to be right in this way, that your output resistance is looking similar to the collector resistance as per our analysis of the circuitry. So that R01 is equal to R02 is equal to RC, that is 2.2 kilo. So in this way we have calculated all these three. Now the next point we have to be take, that is differential amplifier inputs. So we know that we are using here this circuitry, that is balance input, balance output. So there is a two inputs terminals are there. First is here and second is here. That is voltage is V1 for the at terminal 1 and at terminal 2 V2 is the input voltage. But if you have to be see, this input could be categorized into two different sections. One is inverting input, another is non-inverting input. So now we would be see which input out of these two terminals are inverting and which are non-inverting. The same diagram, I think all of you have this diagram with you. If you have not, please draw this. The same diagram that we are taking from the starting of analysis. Now you can see in this differential amplifier, we know the formula of output voltage, that is V0 is equal to AD into V1 minus V2, or in combined form we have to write VID, differential input. Okay. So when you substitute V0 is equal to 0, your V0 would be become AD V1. When you substitute V1 is equal to 0, your output voltage would be become minus AD V2. So this values of output voltage would be give you the hint that which is the inverting terminal and which is the non-inverting terminal. So again I want to ask the question, which is the inverting terminal and which is the non-inverting terminal? What do you understood from this analysis? I would be come to later on the answer, but tell me from this diagram and this equation, which is the inverting terminal? Rutuja Mandlik. Vikas Walunj. Nilesh. It's a very simple from the polarity of this signs. You can see here when your V2 is 0, V0 is equal to plus AD V1 means obviously V1 is a non-inverting terminal and V2 is inverting. Okay. So in this case we have learned that the input voltage V1 is a non-inverting terminal because positive voltage V1 acting alone that produce the positive output voltage, and similarly the positive voltage V2 acting alone to produce a negative output voltage. So we can say V2 is a inverting input. So in this way we can categorize the non-inverting input and inverting input from the same configuration of the differential amplifier. Okay. Now we have to learn one of the very important parameter of this, that is common mode gain of the differential amplifier. Still we have discussed about the differential mode gain. Now we have to switched to the common mode gain. So we have little bit discussed about the common mode input signal in the last lecture. A common mode signal is one that drives both inputs of differential amplifier equally. So the common mode signal is what? It is maybe an interference or a static or any other kind of the undesirable pickups. That is generally a common mode signals. Like you can say the connecting wires on the input of the basis. It would be also act like a small antenna, and it would be distort the signal, input signal that we are providing from the signal generator to the base of the transistor. This is also one kind of the interference, you can say, a common mode signals. So if differential amplifier operating in an environment where lots of electromagnetic interference, so each base pickups an unwanted interference voltage. If you are operating the differential amplifier in such an environment where lots of interference, electromagnetic interference are there, so whatever the wires connected to the base or open wires are there, they will be acting as a unwanted interference voltage. And that's why if you have done experiment on the breadboard and observed the output on the CRO for any BJT based amplifiers or any other transistor based amplifier, you would find that there are lots of noises or the interference signals appeared on the CRO screen because of this kind of unwanted interference voltage. And we know that if the both transistors used in the differential amplifier are completely matched in all respects, that is the condition we have considered throughout the starting of the discussion, then the balanced output would be theoretically zero. If both the transistors were matched in all the respects, so ideally balanced output would be zero, but practically it is not happening. Why? Because of this common mode signal. So this you can see that it discriminates against the common mode input signals. In other words, you can say it refuses to amplify the common mode signals. What restricted to amplify the common mode signal? This is the condition that I have mentioned here. If both the transistors are matched in all respects, your balance output would be theoretically zero. So this condition would be, you can say that, refuses to amplify the common mode signals. So the practical effectiveness of rejecting the common signal depend upon the degree of matching of two common emitter stages that would be from the differential amplifier. If both are perfectly matched, then there is no amplification of the common mode signal. But if there is some mismatching, so common mode signal would be also amplified, and it would be create a problem, or it would be generate a distortion on the output signal. So in other words, you can say more closely are the current in the input transistors, better is the common mode signal rejection. Means we are using the two transistors Q1 and Q2. If both input current would be, or the whatever the current flowing on the transistors Q1 and Q2, both are perfectly matched, you can say, so it would be more better way reject the common mode signal. And this is expected. We have to be, your design of op-amp or design of differential amplifier is such that it should be reject the common mode signals, because it is not required here. So you can say if V1 and V2 are the two input signals, then the output of the practical op-amp can't be described using the given equation, that is V0 is equal to AD V1 minus V2. This equation is only valid for the differential input. But when you are talking about the common mode signals, so this equation is not valid. So what the modification in the output equation we would be see now. So in the practical differential amplifier, output depends not only on the difference signal, but also the common signal or average signal. Generally we know that differential signal would be written as Vd is equal to V1 minus V2. At the same time, a common mode signal is nothing but an average signal. So it would be V1 plus V2 upon 2. So it is the average of both the inputs. Okay. So the output voltage therefore can be expressed as, now when we have to be consider the common mode signal, it is A1 V1 plus A2 V2. See, the equation of output voltage has changed here, because we are considering here the practical op-amp, and in the practical op-amp we have to be consider the effect of common mode signals. And when you have to be consider the effect of common mode signal, this problems would be occurred, and the output voltage equation would be changed. Now your output voltage would be become combination of this input and both the inputs as well as the two gain parameters A1 and A2. So A1 and A2 is here voltage amplification from input 1. A1 is what? It is a voltage amplification from the input 1 to the output under the condition when the input 2 is grounded. So A1 is coming when V2 is equal to 0, and A2 is coming when V1 is equal to 0. So both are vice versa. Okay. Now on the basis of this equation, we have to further elaborate the equation of output voltage. So you can see that here the equation is mentioned for V1. Now what is the value of V1 when we have to be consider this common mode signal? So it would be become now Vc plus Vd upon 2. So how this has been became? We have to be see that for this you have to be go to the this equation. Yes. For finding out the V1 and V2, you have to be go for this equation. Vd is equal to V1 minus V2 and Vc is equal to V1 plus V2 upon 2. From that, when we have to be solve this equation, two equations, then you would be find out the value of V1 and V2. So that is written here. So Vd we know that V1 minus V2, Vc is equal to V1 plus V2 upon 2. Okay. So this is equation 1, this is 2. Now to find out the V1, what we have to be do? You have to be just like this, 2 Vc is equal to V1 plus V2. Okay. Now add the equation 1 plus 3. So you would be get Vd plus twice of Vc is equal to twice of V1. V2 would be cancelled out. And then V1 is equal to what? Vd upon 2 plus Vc. Okay. And to finding out the V2, what we have to do? We have to be like 3 minus 1, equation 3 minus 1. So at that time what happens? Twice of Vc minus Vd, it is equal to V1 would be cancelled out, twice of V2. So your V2 would be become now Vc minus Vd upon 2. Okay. So in this way, this equation has been written. Now substitute this value of V1 and V2 in the output voltage equation, that is A1 V1 V0 is equal to A1 V1 plus A2 V2. You would be get the final value as V0 is equal to AD VD plus AC VC. So AD is a differential gain, differential input VD. AC is a common mode gain, and VC is a common mode signal. Okay. Now everyone please start to fill up your attendance. There is a very less time is there, and on the same time we would be see the further analysis. So note down all these equations. In this way we have seen that output voltage would be become a function of differential mode gain as well as the differential mode signal plus common mode gain into common mode signal. Okay. So the ability of differential amplifier to reject the common mode signal is expressed by a parameter that is called common mode rejection ratio, CMRR. This is the one of the very important parameter of the op-amp, common mode rejection ratio. So what is the equation for the common mode rejection ratio? It is a ratio of differential gain AD upon common mode gain AC. So CMRR is equal to AD upon AC, and here we have represented with one of the constant, that is rho. Okay. So V0 would be, now you can write like this: V0 is AD VD plus AC VC. So in this case, if you have to be see AD VD, AC is what? It is AD upon rho VC. Take the AD VD common, so it would be 1 plus 1 upon rho VC upon VD. This is the equation would be generated. And in the data sheet generally, common mode rejection ratio CMRR is mentioned in the decibels, 20 dB, 30 like this. So if you want to convert this linear value of the dB scale, so whatever the numerical value came here, that would be put up in this particular equation, that is 20 log base 10 CMRR. So in this way you can calculate the common mode rejection ratio in decibel. Okay. So for today we stop here. In the next lecture we would be further see the other configuration of the differential amplifier. So thank you all of you for attending the lecture.